It is time for another XRP update. Let's get into it. So jumping right on in here with our daily time frame for XRP, we can see that things don't look good, right? They're still looking really rough from last week when we did our last update. There just has not been a whole lot of bearish momentum change, and they're definitely still in control while bulls struggle to regain control. But let's dissect this chart a little bit and talk more about it. So first, we basically just generally ended this week how we did last week at about the same price point after doing a little bit of a dip down, then a bounce up with a high wick, and then right back down. Now with that move upward that we had, of course, we had a really great climb up to the 166 zone, but of course, then we quickly swept back down and actually closed that daily candle in the red. And let me tell you, that daily candle is not a pretty daily candle. We don't like to see that kind of thing. Of course, it just is further evidence that the bears are still in control. We couldn't even reclaim that 20 EMA or exponential moving average and ended up back below it yet again. So of course, things don't look good. Now on the flip side of this, we were wondering whether or not we ended up still within our range that we've been in for a number of weeks at this point, even months. And it's hard to say because this range is really hard to read. My lower orange line is not dead on exact. It's just a very hard descending bull flag to read, but I think we've generally reclaimed back into that, it feels like, for the most part. So for now, from that standpoint, things look okay. Now, of course, too, on our RSI here at the bottom, you can see that we did break upward out of a bearish trend. But again, the RSI is climbing pretty strong, just like it did with Bitcoin we've seen over the weekend and talked about in my last update. And we don't like to see that without price action also reacting in strength. So the fact that the combo here is still a negative or a slight price action bump with the RSI bumping at a rapid pace, not great. And just a reminder, I do have my yellow lines that are horizontal lines right here, which show previous support or resistance, depending on what was happening in the past. Of course, once we drop below that 180-ish into like the 160 zone, we have very, very little support at these levels. So really, we're just kind of flowing up and down in midair with not a lot to catch us or hold us back should things turn around. But all hope is not lost. If we flip on over here to the weekly time frame, you'll see that we got a little bit of a different story. While yes, a lot of our dailies have been closing red as far as candles go, our weekly candle for this past week actually closed green. And you'll notice something. We did land on our very last support, just like we did with Bitcoin, at that 200 EMA or exponential moving average. Not only that, but with XRP here, that also coincided with the bottom